friends, I wonder if I'm the only one who feels like the world's gone completely mad. Media, advertising, celebrities, and even some doctors have already worn us out with their mantras. Poor, poor human beings. They say your veins are already boiling with cocktails of pesticides. Preservative and additives are finishing off your liver. Your lungs are suffocating with smoke. And stress and laziness are finally breaking your metabolism. Everything is bad. Your home is full of toxins. And since something has gotten inside, it must urgently be removed. And so begins the show, We'll Clean You Till You Shine. Raw food, diets, and other culinary feats. The magical 2 liters of water a day, otherwise you'll obviously drop dead. Mysterious green-brown juices that look so stylish in Hollywood movies. Pills, powders, saunas, yoga, dry brushing, colon cleansing, miracle in souls, and even food bath that supposedly suck poison straight through your heels. That's all it takes, and voila, you're like a brand new iPhone after a firmware update. Why isn't it true? Because your body already knows how to filter for you. Otherwise, humanity would have gone extinct long ago. But the toxin cleansers don't bother with details. Which toxins exactly? Where are the before and after tests? No, instead they're talking about sensations or blood flow speed. The British organization Sense About Science back in 2009 asked 15 manufacturers of direct question. Guys, what toxins? No answers followed. Apparently the toxin substances were busy that day. In reality, detox is nothing more than a trendy body cult from 1917s. First gyms, then smiling models in leotard jumping on TV screens, and then public panic that they were sinning too much, eating the wrong things, drinking the wrong things, living the wrong way, and then come apostles of detox, solemnly promising absolution of sin for a very earthy fee. Scientists, deprived of any sense of the mystical, cynically called these healers swindlers, and instead of magic in souls advised banal things: eat properly and move. What a shame. No esotericism, just boring biology.
Какая досада.
Who would have thought it turns out that saving your heart doesn't lie on super expensive pills or trendy supplements, but simply in daring to open your mouth at the dentist once a year? Yes, yes. Tartar cleaning has now joined the ranks of heroic preventive procedures, almost like a universal vaccination. The American Heart Association, how could we do without it, has already solemnly reported the risk of heart attack drops by 25%, stroke by 13%. It's simple. Want to live longer? Polish your enamel. Taiwanese scientists tested this at 100,000 people, and miracle of miracles, those who visited the dentist died a little later than the others. The mechanism, of course, is mysterious, almost like the evil eye. Some scientists believe that bacteria from the mouth march into your bloodstream and sabotage it. Others are sure that inflamed gums are directly linked to bad cholesterol, but honestly, it feels like Tata has been declared the new global evil, standing shoulder to shoulder with fast food and smoking. So the conclusion is simple. If you want to protect your heart, stop being afraid of dentists. After all, it's easy to endure half an hour under a dental drill than risk a stroke. Although, of course, if you believe the studies, you can now justify the dental visits not by caring for your teeth, but by caring your heart. Sounds much nobler. As for me, I get tartar removed once a year, not thinking about heart attack or strokes, but guided purely by aesthetic reasons. After all, I'm not a Russian in order to forget about how my teeth look like. Before every holiday and before every vacation, women, and to be fair, many men as well, have only one concern: the sacred ritual of squeezing the unsqueezable. That is somehow fitting into a new dress or into a swimsuit that has once again treacherously decided to shrink one size smaller. We heroically open Google and type the sacred query: lose weight fast. And lo and behold, the internet generously offers us a collection of miracle diets. The Larissa Dolina diet, well, if it worked for the singer, it must work for you as well. The grapefruit diet, your teeth clench just from the smell. The yogurt diet, you'll probably turn into yogurt yourself. The actor's diet, the six petals diet, the dozens more variation of one theme, eat one product and suffer beautifully. In reality, everything boils down to two scenarios. Either you go to a mono diet, hello buckwheat with cucumbers, eat and pretend you're a Victoria's Secrets model, or you voluntarily switch to a 500-calorie ration. Thanks a lot, dear body, survive somehow on your own. But most often the cult name wins. Pierre Ducan diet. A friend last week already cut out carbs and now shines. -3 kilos plus a sense of universal superiority. True. 2 weeks later, this holiday of life usually ends up with potatoes and mayo under Christmas chimes. And the weight comes back like the mailman bringing a New Year postcards to your office. But who cares? The main thing is that the photo is in the dress turned out great. Of course, Dukan never recommended binge eating after protein and fiber. But who really cares about details when Instagram likes are at stake? So if you suddenly feel like spending December living on yogurt and then ceremoniously returning to Olivier salad, just remember last year. The mistakes of past years are not only repeated, they also get photographed. China surprises again. In the center of Shanghai city, 10,000 lonely souls gathered in the hope of a great miracle, to find a partner in 8 minutes. And if not in 8, then at least in 9 minutes. The event was called speed dating, something like a factory for exchanging business cards under the gaze of romance. You sit, smile politely, pretend to be interested, and at the bell you move to the next. If a person across from you didn't make you want to shoot yourself, you exchange contacts. Simple, like an assembly line in a factory. But the most touching part was, of course, the parents. More than 4,000 of them gathered, strongly advertising their children who couldn't even be bothered to show up. Moms and dads plastered boards with ads about their golden child: name, age, job, income. In short, a real open-air classified market. Son, 29 years old, IT specialist, above average salary, can even cook dumplings by himself. And so the whole event looked less like a romantic celebration and more like a huge marketplace of martial resumes, where in the middle of noisy crowd, parents were selling their children and the children were selling their 8 minutes of time. China certainly has no shortage of population, unlike, say, Russia. And China isn't obsessed with spiritual bonds cementing society against that like Russia. But it's perfectly understandable that the Chinese want to start families, though I doubt that in 8 minutes of conversation somebody can really choose a soulmate among dozens of other candidates, each with the same 8 minutes of interaction. Of course, we live in an absolutely insane world where absolutely everything is possible, especially lately. But perhaps I'm wrong, and among my subscribers or blog visitors, there are those who did manage to find their partners at such a date. I'm waiting for your comments then. What do you think about it? I'm really curious to hear your thoughts, my friends. Share them down in the comments, I'll be reading them all.